Hello. So, this is the third of a set of 3 videos that are all about creating this delicious, savory, short rib, baked potato, cheesy goodness cake, wedding cake from Café Nordo's show, Hotel Nordo. If you haven't watched the first 2, you'll learn how to make a short rib in the second one, and you'll learn how to, or braise a short rib, and you'll learn how to create the whole stack in the first one. So this is kind of that catch-all, all the components that are left over to create this thing today. We're gonna do some stuff with potatoes and some stuff with black garlic. But first, I want to thank some more people who have donated to the cafenordo.com website. That is what's going to make sure that we can continue to make weird, inventive, amazing food surrounded by servers and actors and live music and beautiful scenery and all the things we do at Nordo when we're not in the middle of a pandemic. It's going to be tricky to get back to work. So we are so looking forward to it. Meanwhile, we're doing retro dinners and some small, socially distant kind of events down there. So please check out cafenordo.com for that and for information about how to donate. And special thank you to Justin Newstrom. Thank you, Chef. Jesse Joe, my neighbor who's probably listening to me say this right now downstairs. Ralph and Kathy Brindley. That's my dad and stepmom. They're the best. Bridget McCarty and Tom Cowdery, thank you so much for being a part of our community. Rick and Kristen Ewing, you are such great supporters. We saw you at our soft opening a couple days ago. It was great to see you. Paul Bedritis, thank you. And Io, thank you. You were part of the last show we did. We really appreciate you. And Emily Makepeace. We just can't wait to get back to it. But meanwhile, let's make some savory cakes. So last few components. This is black garlic. We're gonna use it. So all the cakes in this show were black cakes. And this is what I use to frost this potato short rib cake. This is black garlic. So it doesn't really taste like garlic. Black garlic has been heated in low heat for like weeks at a time. So literally like food dehydrator or even Instant Pot, rice cooker, something like that. Oftentimes rice cooker. For weeks, and it ferments, and what ends up happening is it tastes sweet and like lots of umami, and that's because of that Maillard reaction. So we talked about that a little bit when we were braising the short ribs, when we were searing them off. That is the flavor of savoriness. A lot of times it's called meatiness, but it's not really meaty. It's meaty in the way that tomato paste is a little bit meaty. It's umami. So if you really slowly on super low heat for weeks and weeks at a time, just put a whole clove of black garlic, you'll end up with this very sweet umami flavor. So it's like roasted garlic insofar as I can just kind of squeeze it in my fingers and it just kind of smushes. The flavor is just so different and the aroma's delicious. Balsamic vinegar, some people compare it to. Just a very sweet, sometimes a little tangy, but bomb of umami. So that's what we're gonna use as the black topping on our short rib cake. So I'm just gonna keep peeling these a little bit more. Okay, so I've peeled about maybe 3/4 of a clove. It really depends on how many little cakes you're doing. I'm just going to do a little bit here so I can show you how. I'm going to add a little bit of water. You could add a little beef stock or even a little boozy, but I'm just going to do water for today just to kind of loosen it up, and then I'll just kind of whisk it in, smashing those little garlics, and what I'm trying to come up with is a paste that I'm going to use almost like a chocolate ganache on the tippy top of the cake. So we don't want to put too much extra liquid in there because then we'll get brown instead of that beautiful black of the black garlic. But that is pretty much it. So just kind of making sure that all those little bits are smashed. I might actually take the back of a spoon and just make sure that we're really getting all those bits. Here we go. Doesn't that look like chocolate ganache or like chocolate sauce? So I'm going to put that to the side. We won't need that until it's time to frost the cake, which won't be for a few more steps. Meanwhile, I have these potatoes. I've baked them, just normal baked potatoes, like an hour at 425 or so. And I'm just going to scoop the guts out. And this will be our potato layer. I like to do the baked potato instead of just mashing, like boiling and mashing potatoes, because I just think they taste a little different, one. And two, I actually like there to be a little bit of a toothsomeness in the potato. So it tastes, when you're eating the cake, it tastes like you're eating a baked potato and short rib rather than like a creamy, buttery mashed potato. It'll hold up a little bit better too. And that's a secret with this thing, is you gotta somehow get it to hold up. Great, so that's all the little guts of potatoes out of their jackets. One thing that I did in the original show version of this dish that I'm not gonna do today because at home it doesn't add that much to the finished product. It's just a fun thing and it's a real pain in the butt. So we usually cut up these these potato skins and deep fry them. And then we would put that as a layer in there as well. So that was pretty cool. We're not gonna do it today. We'll just leave those to the side. And then this is like 1.5 cups of cheddar cheese that I'm gonna mix in there. And then I'm just gonna smush it in with my hands. So the potatoes are not gonna melt this cheese. They're cooled down enough that it's gonna we're just gonna be able to mush it on in there. And like I say, I don't want it to be completely broken apart because I like the hunky chunky of the potato. So that is pretty much it. And then I want to cool it down. I want to get it completely cold. Like I say, it's about warm right now. I want it totally cold. So I'm going to put it in a shallow pan, smush it out so it cools really fast, and put it in the oven. I mean, don't put it in the oven. Put it in the refrigerator. This is a complicated recipe. I'm so glad you bared with me up to this point. Our short ribs are now in there doing the natural release, so we're gonna get back to that in just a second. But meanwhile, we've got our frosting. We have our potatoes for the layers. That's going in the fridge. And if you wanna know what all of this comes to, just check out the previous 2 videos and you'll have all the components to make those little cakes. Okay, thank you so much. That was fun. We'll see you soon. You made it! Thank you so much for watching. I'm here to tell you a little bit about Nordo. We are a nonprofit arts organization based in Seattle, Washington, dedicated to bringing you an intimate theatrical experience that weaves in imaginative cuisine and live original music. If you're watching during the COVID-19 crisis and you want to make sure our doors are open when all this is over so you can come and experience one of our incredible events, please consider donating. You can find more information and a link to donate at cafenordo.com. Stay in, stay well, and stay inspired. Thank you.